actually smells really, really good. What up guys, it is Blue from Blue Shoes, and here today we are coming at you with a new review on the Curry 11 Future Curry. It is the newest signature Steph Curry model, obviously following the 10th. It is released today, October 13th, which is just a couple of weeks before the beginning of the NBA season. He's getting ramped up, so he released his new shoe on Friday the 13th. Anyways, so first off, we're gonna get right down to it. This shoe, the looks, they're beautiful. I think that it's a great colorway for a first shoe in a signature line. It's simple, but yet has a little bit of color. It's got obviously the mostly black upper with the white flow foam and the hit of white there on that outside of the shoe. You've got all the hits of mint green on the shoe that kind of just make it pop. I'm a big fan of the mint green color. I dub these the Curry 11 Mint Oreos. You can kind of see, if I hold it up closer to the camera, you can see there's little black speckles on that green piece that sticks out there. Kind of reminds me of the vanilla or the white Oreo Jordan 4s, which I happen to own a pair of, and also the Oreo Jordan 5s, which are black and have, again, that speckle look. So I don't know, I think it's pretty cool, the mint Oreo Curries. But yeah, I love it, love the color, love the colorway, love just the look of the overall shape of the shoe. I think it's fantastic. Some of the cool details though about the look of the shoe, on the heel counter back here, you actually have some text that says, "Created for the greatest shooter ever." And I just think that's a really cool detail because obviously Steph, season before last, broke Ray Allen's record for most three-pointers ever.
Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time three-point king in the NBA!
And this, talking about Steph being the GOAT of shooting, pretty cool. Another little cool detail like that is on the toe of the shoe. You can see there's a less than symbol and then a greater than symbol on the other shoe. And that is actually a call out to a tattoo that Steph has, I believe, on the inside of one of his biceps, and Aisha actually has it on his wife, actually has it on her wrist, I believe. And that is actually to a reference to the Bible verse, John 30. And basically, I didn't say it was John 3:30.
You said John 30.
It's John 3:30. My apologies, everyone out there. But yeah, it's he must increase, but I must decrease. Basically saying, hey, all the glory to God. He's what it's all about. I think that's pretty cool. And a cool little detail about Steph's personal life that you have here on the shoes. Other cool details that you have is also on the heel counter, you have 14 little like notches that stick out from the heel counter. I believe that's in reference to the fact that last year was Steph's 14th year in the league, so he has had 14 NBA seasons. Of course, you have the Curry brand logo all over the shoe. You have it on a little patch here on the tongue. You have it on the inside of the heel there and like engraved into the flow foam. You have it here on the outside of the heel. There's like a little plastic cutout with the Curry logo there. There is the Under Armour logo in a little indentation in the heel of the shoe. Also, it says Curry on the insole of the shoe. So a lot of branding. One final cool detail is it does have Steph Curry's signature on that little cutout on the outsole of the shoe. So yeah, looks of the shoe, 10 out of 10, love it. Now moving on to the materials of the shoe. So with the materials of the shoe, that's one of the things that I know a lot of people have complained about with the Curry line. I know a lot of people really have complained because his shoes, the last three models before the Curry 11, have used a lot of the same materials and technology in the shoes, and people have been upset that it's not different enough.
It's a better body than you. Boom. Roasted.
I'm personally a fan of the quote, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." I think that the flow foam that's on the outsole of these Curry shoes lately, which is the main thing I think people would love to see mixed up, I think it's some of the best traction that is out there. It's lightweight, it provides amazing traction for a basketball shoe. So I personally love that they kept it in there, but I will say they did mix things up more than one might think. So starting with the upper of the shoe, you do have that warp stop kind of material on the outside of the shoe. It's like made of these nylon strips sewn in together with like this almost 3D printed looking mesh material underneath it. It provides really great stability and lock in, helping when you're doing those lateral movements on a basketball court. It was on the Curry 10 and 9 before it, but those shoes, while mostly that material, in this model, it's only seen there a little bit on the outside of the shoe. Then we have this fuse material that runs all the way from the toe of the shoe up this outside all the way to the heel. And it actually is connecting the two main materials of this upper. That other material being a mesh material that honestly looks kind of like dragon scales or something, or like fish scales or something a little bit with the pattern it has. I actually think that's really cool. It's kind of out there, but that's just what I think it looks like. Then you have this iridescent looking plastic-ish material that goes from the other side of the toe box all the way through the inside of the shoe. Also, the heel of the shoe kind of does a similar thing in the light. I think that's super dope. On the back of the heel, you do have a faux leather material that wraps around the heel of the shoe. The tongue of the shoe is really similar. Honestly, I think it's exactly the same material that the Curry 10 tongue was made out of. It's just kind of this mesh, this plush mesh material. Now moving to the biggest departure from the previous Curry models in the shoe, which happens to be the flow outsole. And I know you're thinking, this flow outsole looks identical to all of the others as far as material goes. It's what's on the inside that matters with this flow foam. So typically with Curry shoes lately, it's literally just the outsole and midsole of the shoe is flow foam. And then there's a cheap insole on the inside of the shoe that's not all that comfortable. I will say they did continue the trend of the cheap insole that is just kind of a thin foam that's not all that soft or cushy. Also, I apologize, there's definitely some of my golden retrievers dog fur on this insole because I've worn these shoes around the house all day. But I will say one thing I like about this insole is it is kind of more form-footed, especially in the heel area to the human foot. So that's kind of a nice detail versus the just straight up flat Curry insoles that we've had on the rest of these shoes lately. Get that back in there. So yeah, the insole may be a minor upgrade, but underneath that insole is actually a different kind of flow foam. I put this picture in here to show you what it looks like if you were to cut the shoe in half. The bottom shell is this kind of firm flow foam that we've had on past models, but then up above that is sitting a layer of softer, more cushy and plush flow foam. And it actually has like grooves, as you can see in the picture, that go under the forefoot of the shoe, and that's supposed to help provide extra soft cushion when you're running on your, the balls of your feet. This shoe, way more comfortable than the past two Curry models. They weren't uncomfortable, it's just that the foam that was on the bottom of the shoe, it was a little on the firm side, so it wasn't super plush. I will say when you first put your foot into the shoe, it's not the most plush, but after wearing these around the house for a whole day, I can say already I've noticed that the foam has started to compress and kind of break in, and it's already more comfortable than it was when I first tried them on today. That being said, still super comfortable and definitely a step in the right direction as far as comfort goes. As far as the fit goes, I would say these are going to be true to size. I got these, I went into a store to actually try these on. I think I got a size 10.5 with my Curry 10s and 9s that I bought before that, because starting with the Curry 8s, I noticed the shoes just kind of started to fit a little more snug than some other brands. But these, when I went in to try them on, I tried on both, but the 10.5 felt a little too big, and these, actually I have a little bit of room at the toe. I will say for you wide footers out there like me, that there's a little foam piece that kind of sticks up there at the toe box, and it kind of, I guess, helps as a little extra stabilization while wearing them and playing basketball. But it does stick up just enough that if you were to press your toe all the way to the very tip of the shoe, if you have a wider foot, that would bother you. I can feel it just a little bit on my right foot, which happens to be slightly bigger than my left foot. I can feel that kind of touching my toe a little bit, and if it was any smaller, it would really irritate me or bug me. So I think going true to size is the way to go with these, because they do fit slightly looser than some of his previous models. Yeah, I think that's about all I have for these shoes. Let's ask the wife and see what she thinks of the Curry 11 Futures.
I think these are some of my favorites.
Ooh.
I love the Tiffany blue, and I especially like the way that the shoe looks. It's not bulky, it's very new, and I don't know, I just really like it. And I like that it's not that loud. I like that it has the just basic colors within the pop of the mint green.
You like the iridescence?
I love the iridescence.
Yeah.
I think that's more fitting for the Northern Lights
It would be.
shoes.
He does.
than-
Wow, that's impressive.
I know.
Bravo.
I listen.
She does learn from me as I ramble about these shoes to her all day long. Yeah, there are the Northern Light Curry models of a few of his signature models that he's done. And yeah, that iridescent color would have actually been really cool on those. But I love that it's on these. And I guess it does kind of feel futuristic, because this is called the Curry 11 Future Curries. I think these are fantastic. The wife has given her seal of approval. I think we might even have to get her a pair of these in women or kid sizes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of these in the comments section below. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them, and if I can answer, I'll try my best to, or maybe you know something about them I don't. Hey, I'm always happy to learn. But yeah, go out, give a like to a channel that you know maybe doesn't have a lot of attention or likes. You never know what one like or subscription to a lesser known channel could do for them, and might just make their day. And hey, maybe do that for me too. I wouldn't be opposed to it. So feel free to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more news on future Currys and Adidas and Pumas and all sorts of other shoes. We're gonna be pumping out these videos like crazy while basketball season is ramping up. But yeah, that about does it for me today. Thank you everybody. Blue out.